Here we have that outstanding Meteorite Paleo Story Stone face and mammoth effigy that I had featured on a previous video, but I wanted on this video to compare it to another Paleo Story Stone face and mammoth effigy from the Gobi Desert, made out of Gobi Desert agate. Now, this is a meteorite that was found in the Kumtag Desert, which is part of the Taklamakan Desert, just west of the Gobi Desert. And you can see that this mammoth trunk off to the left there has been etched into there. That's all been worked. You can see the etching lines that make up that trunk facing off to the left. And the eye of the mammoth is right up on top here, and that's all been carved out beautifully. So we have the mammoth facing left, and what we see is the young bust of what appears to be a shaman wearing a shaman's hat above his head, looking off to the left. And what great artistry and workmanship incorporated into this meteorite. Now, meteorites are soft stone certainly compared to Andara volcanic glass, or compared to obsidian or jade or chert or agate. And it very easily worked, but this is one of the finest Paleo Story Stone face and mammoth effigies that I've come across when it comes to beautiful paleo art. It's really a masterpiece of paleo art. Now, each story stone not only has a young mammoth and an old mammoth, but it also has a young face and an old face. And there's our old face right there. The eyes have been totally engraved on that old face right there. Totally engraved. And then the mouth is open. Rounded mouth right here. And then the hair above the head, that's all been etched. Now, we see that etching on Andara volcanic glass. We see it commonly on obsidian. When you see that etching and you have a Paleo Story Stone, well, then you know it's a paleo artifact. And they really didn't etch. I haven't found any flake stone in the early archaic that was etched. Once the mammoth died out, this culture, this worship, this tradition, worldwide, by the way, I have these from every continent on the planet except for Antarctica. And I have researched now that they go back to Neanderthal, they go back to Homo heidelbergensis, they go back to Homo erectus, and they go all the way back to Homo habilis, some 2 million years ago. So these were made for over 2 million years all around the world, which would indicate a worldwide mammoth cult, mammoth tradition, mammoth worship. And these were left as offerings. These were left as offerings to probably the mammoth god. Maybe they thought that we evolved from the mammoth being the biggest, baddest animal in the jungle back then. Or maybe there was some kind of creation story or creation tradition. And then they may have worshipped it for other reasons. But this is a great mammoth image facing left with that trunk having been carved right out of there. And the faces are just remarkable. And then when you hold it this way, now we have the baby mammoth with his little trunk here, and it has a massive hair tuft above the head, which is typical iconographics for baby mammoths. I believe that hair tuft was nature's way of allowing that baby to flare up its hair tuft to make itself look larger in the presence of a predator. But now we have the baby mammoth facing off to the right. And when we turn it over this way, now we have that baby mammoth facing off to the right. And we have the mature mammoth with the big sweeping trunk and the eye there. It looks like an elephant with its big trunk coming down off to the left. That's a great mammoth image right there of a mature mammoth, older mammoth facing off to the left. Its eye right here, big sweeping trunk. And we have some great faces on this side. This eye has been purposely slit into the meteorite. We have the young face with the more pointed nose looking off to the left. And he's got a hat on up here. They made this in bas relief and left this up here for the faces wearing a hat. just like on the other side of the stone, with the young bust wearing a hat, like a shaman's cap. We have the nose here of the young face. We have a real cool older face with this, the eye, the bigger nose, looking off to the right, wearing the hat. So just some great iconographics on this Meteorite Paleo Story Stone from the Kumtag Desert in China. Heavily, heavily patinated, wind-blown, very harsh, hot environment for thousands of years. Then we have this wonderful piece here, and this is a great shaman face carving as well. This is done in Gobi Desert agate, and it is translucent, and many Gobi Desert agate specimens are Paleo Story Stone. I have lots, dozens of Gobi Desert agate Paleo Story Stone face and mammoth effigies. These are collected on the surface, and just like the meteorite ones are in the Kumtag Desert. And what we have here is just a wonderful effigy. We've got this eye that's completely been carved out right here. That is really cool how they carved that out. And then the mouth is here. And then we have the horn of the horned shaman. Almost looks like a devil. The horn of the horned shaman here, carved right in there. And when we hold it this way, now we have a great mammoth image with this, the eye of the mammoth up here. Now that horn becomes its tusk. That now becomes the mammoth tusk facing off to the right. And that would be the mature mammoth with the big sweepy trunk. And then when we hold it this way, now we have the baby mammoth with its little trunk over here and massive hair tuft above the head, with the face looking up from the back of the mammoth. Just very well done. And the reason why I wanted to share these on the same video is these were found within several hundred miles, no doubt, of each other, one in the Gobi Desert and one in the Kumtag Desert, which is just west of the Gobi Desert. And so we have in China two wonderful Paleo Story Stone face and mammoth effigies. And as I've mentioned, they're found worldwide. These just happen to have been found in the Mongolia, China, Taklamakan deserts of China.